Hi everybody, this is Fabian with another video tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about the Bernette 77 sewing machine. This machine is feature packed, does not embroider, and it has a ton of stitches to choose from. And today I'm going to be going over just a few of the features that make it special. To begin threading the machine, I'm just going to start following the arrows on the machine itself. So you're going to go down, up, down, and make sure you get the thread into the take-up lever, because that's important. And once you get down into the needle area, we're going to hook the thread behind the needle, like so, and we're going to use our needle threader to thread the eye of the needle. And you'll notice what happens is when you engage your needle threader, the foot lowers and you get a little message here that shows you the steps to be able to use your threader. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then once you're ready to release the threader, just take your hand off and you'll notice that your screen returns to normal. So pull the thread through, and I'm going to raise my foot again using the presser foot up button and then slipping the thread under the foot. To thread our bobbin, we're going to take off the cover, and if you notice it's nice and clear so that way you can see how much thread you have while you're sewing. This is what your bobbin looks like, just plastic. And what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that when your thread is coming off of the spool, it's coming off of the left side, or so that it looks like a letter P. You'll drop the bobbin into the machine and again follow the arrows and give it a little pull at the end and put the cover back on, like so. And then at this point, you don't have to do anything else. You can just put your fabric underneath the foot and start sewing. This particular bobbin system allows you to not have to be able to pull it up, just like with a traditional machine. With this machine also, you're going to notice that there is no manual release, so there's no presser foot lever on the side or in the back. It's all done either by push button like this, or you also have the option of your knee lift. So if you push to the right of your knee lift, it'll raise your foot, and then if you bring it back into position, it lowers your foot. And a knee lift is really handy too, especially if you're a fashion sewer like I am and you're constantly having to adjust things under the foot. It keeps you hands-free. Now we're going to go over some of the buttons that are on the face of the machine. The first one here is your needle up-down button, and this is really good if you need needle up-down on demand. So if you're sewing and you stop and your needle is in the fabric and you need to raise it, you can just push this button and the needle will automatically come up or go into the fabric. The button next to it is the auto tie off, so if you're working with a decorative stitch and you need to secure it, you'll push on this button and then continue sewing and it'll tie off, so that way you don't have to reverse stitch. This little bar here sets your speed, so if you're a beginner and you're kind of afraid of sewing too fast, you can set it at like a medium speed or very slow, and no matter how much you push down on your foot pedal, it'll only sew that particular speed. But for me, I just kind of have it here in the center. And this button that's glowing green is your start-stop button. I use this when I'm winding a bobbin, so that way I don't have to use the foot pedal, and also because your bobbin can wind at a consistent speed in conjunction with your speed control. You also have your presser foot up and down, and that's pretty self-explanatory. We just talked about that. This raises and lowers your foot. So you have your scissor here, which will cut your thread at the end of a seam. And then also, just like with a traditional machine, you have a reverse stitch, so that way you can back stitch at the beginning and ends of your seam. Another awesome feature on this machine is the touch screen. You're going to be going here to make all of your stitch selections, manipulations, as well as to play with your settings. First, let's just go over how to choose a different stitch. When you turn the machine on, the machine will default to a straight stitch, as it is here. And let's say I want to go over to a zigzag stitch. When you select a stitch, the machine will automatically set the length and the width that was set in the factory, but you can also change these as well. So let's say this is the zigzag stitch I wanted to use, but I don't want it to be as wide as it is here. You'll go over to your width knob and you'll either decrease or increase your width. Now you'll also notice that as you make your changes on these stitches, it's going to make that particular change on the screen. So that way you can see just exactly how wide or how narrow it's going to look once it's stitched out. So let's say I wanted a 3 width and a 3.5 length. After you make your final adjustments, you can see how they are going to appear on the fabric before you stitch it out. And this also eliminates a lot of, trying and testing to see what things are going to look like. And once you're happy with it, you can lift your foot, put the fabric underneath, and begin sewing. You can also change your needle position as well. So let's say I'm on a straight stitch and I need my needle to be more to the left or to the right. You'll go to this button here and make that adjustment for yourself. So if you need it to be all the way to the left, and once you can't go anymore, the machine will kind of make a beeping noise. And the same thing goes for if you're making your needle go all the way to the right. The screen also will let you know what foot is recommended, your tension setting, and also your presser foot pressure control as well. So if you're working with the heavier fabric and you need more pressure on your foot while you're sewing, you can go in and adjust that as well. Another really helpful thing that this machine does, if you go to the picture of the needle to the left, it will let you know which needle plate is engaged right now. So we're using our regular plate, which allows you to zigzag, and this little icon highlighted means that that's the plate that is engaged. If you're going to switch to a straight stitch plate, you would change your plate, and then this would become highlighted, and this lets you know that you can only do a straight stitch with this machine with that needle plate engaged. So in a way, if you put that needle plate on and you forget and you go to do a zigzag stitch, it's not going to let you. And you also have built-in memory on this machine also. So you'll go to the picture of the heart, and what this allows you to do is if you change a certain stitch on your machine and you leave your machine and you're going to come back to it, you can custom save a stitch and the special settings that you set, so that way you won't lose them and you don't have to write them down or anything like that. And I actually have one in the folder right now, so you'll click the folder and anything that you save will appear in this section. And all you have to do is open it and then choose whichever one that you need. Menu here. You also have options for decorative stitches and quilting stitches, as well as alphabets for monogramming and putting your name on quilts and things like that, or making your own labels. You also have quite a few buttonholes to choose from, and eyelets as well. And this machine also does a one-step buttonhole. The foot pedal on this machine is very innovative in the sense that it is completely programmable. There's a special button on the heel of the foot pedal that allows you to set it so that it can either secure your stitch, cut your thread, or raise your foot, or all three. To program your foot pedal, we're going to go to our screen, and you're going to go to the picture of the gear and tap it. Touch the picture of the straight stitch and the zigzag stitch, and then we're going to go over a page, and you'll see the icon with the heel of the foot pedal and the little arrow. Click that, and this is what it'll look like once you open it. And since I've been using this feature, it's already activated. But once you open this for the first time, this is what it'll look like. You won't have anything highlighted. So what you'll do is you're going to go and tap the picture of the knot, and what this does is this will tell you how many times the stitch will knot. So first we'll touch the picture of the knot, or the little pretzel looking thing, and what you can do here, you can actually choose how many times the machine will knot off before it cuts and raises your foot. So right now I have it set to 3, but you can go all the way up to 6. So we'll go back down to 3, and then what we'll do is we will touch the picture of the scissor and the picture of the foot with the little arrow pointing up. So once we have all of these activated, this ensures that our machine will knot off, cut our thread, and raise our foot. So that way all you have to do is remove your project and go. So we'll go ahead and X out of here, and then at this point we're ready to start sewing. To show you how this feature works, we're going to sew a little bit. And another really cool thing about this machine is when the foot is in the up position, all you have to do is push down on your foot pedal and it will bring it down automatically, and then you can start sewing. So we'll sew a little bit, and I'll just make it faster so you can see how fast it goes. And once you're finished, like I said before, all you have to do is hit the heel of your foot pedal, and it will tie off, cut your thread, and raise the foot. That concludes this demo of the Bernette 77. Be sure to stay tuned for more content and other projects featuring this machine.